Hello, my fellow Ripplers. This is Chris Miles, your cash flow expert and anti-financial advisor. Welcome to our show that's for you and about you. Those who work so hard for your money, you want your money to start working harder for you now. You want that freedom, cash flow, and prosperity today, not 30 or 40 years from now, but right now to live that life that you love, doing what you love with those you love. And guys, not just about getting rich, it's about living a rich life, because as you're blessed financially, you can make a greater impact in the lives of others and create that ripple effect. Guys, thank you so much for allowing me to create that ripple effect through you. Thank you for binging, tuning in, and sharing and doing all the things you guys do today. Quick reminder, go and check out our YouTube channel, The Money Ripples with Chris Miles page, if you're not done so already, and subscribe today, especially if you want to make sure you get some of these cool little bonus short videos that we're doing here lately. So lots of good stuff, especially when I get those little inspirations. Make sure you're tuned in. Make sure you subscribe now.
Chris Miles was able to retire twice by the time he was 39 years old, but he's not content to just enjoy his own financial freedom and peace of mind. Chris wants you to have your own ripple effect so you can live free today. He's not the financial advisor you expected. He's the anti-financial advisor you deserve. He's jumping behind the mic right now, ready to make waves. Here's Chris Miles.
Okay, guys, so I want to bring up a strategy that was brought up in our show probably about 3 years ago. And man, I gotta tell you, it was one of our most popular episodes of the entire year, because all of us want to know, of course, how do we create more income, right? Because we know that cash flow equals freedom, right? We want more passive income. We want more of that in our lives. But what's often the case is that many people think, hey, I've got to have money to make money, right? That's the common belief. I got to have money to make money. And that's true. If you have financial capital, we can take that financial capital and turn it into cash flow. That's something we do with our clients all the time when we strategize and try to connect them with the right deals and the people and help them figure out what's the best way to do that. That being said, there are also ways to do it without any money. So if you're not using financial capital, the other way to make money is through human capital, right? What is your human capital? What are those intrinsic traits? This is why it doesn't take money to make money, because if that were the case, you would have never survived past being a teenager, right? Because, for example, how many of us had a lot of money as teenagers? None of us, right? We had to go get jobs. Now, we didn't pay the employer to say, hey, listen, if I pay you $20,000, will you pay me $15,000 a year as a student or something like that? No, of course not. That never happened. We weren't giving them money to pay us money. We offered our time and energy and whatever abilities we had to then get paid in return. Now, many of you also know you could turn your talents and turn your skills into money. That's human capital, right? By the way, this is the best way to create money fast with no money. You know, these are the things you should be looking for anyways. Now, here's a strategy that often people don't realize is that you can actually use your credit to make money. You might say, wait, how does that work? Like with a credit card? You know, like if I'm just using credit cards to spend money? No, that's not what I'm talking about. Although it can use credit cards. What I'm talking about is your credit score, right? If you have good credit, one of the great things you can do, even right now, if you've got great credit and maybe you have a stable job, hopefully you have that too as well, you can actually go and become a credit partner. Now, I'm going to put a lot of focus on this in this episode because I have a very unique, specific strategy I want to go into that's even more unique than this. But I want to expand your mind a little bit to realize that, yes, you can actually become a credit partner with somebody. For example, if you wanted to go buy a real estate property, now you may not have the cash for the down payment, but you might have the credit. You might partner with somebody and say, listen, you've got cash. I've got the great credit score. Why don't we partner together and we split the profits? And right. And you might be able to split it however you guys feel is fair. Naturally, though, if you use your credit, the loan's on you, you're taking the risk. So you want to make sure you're compensated, not just for the payment. You want to make a little bit extra. You want to make some extra cash flow. So say, for example, that you're buying a property that maybe required a $40,000 down payment and you're hoping to make $400 a month. You might work out with them, say, listen, I'll take on the loan. You put up the entire 40 grand. I'll take on the loan. You just pay me 25% of that. You pay me $100 a month above the mortgage payment, right? So the mortgage payment gets paid and I get paid $100 a month. You keep the 300. Voila. You still make some money. I make money, but you don't have to use your credit score, right? And that might be good, especially if they've got cash, but they don't have the credit score. It can also be good because they don't want to have to get a bank loan. They just don't want to have to deal with that on their credit. They may want to keep their credit free and clear. So that's one strategy there. Now, I'm about to move into a strategy that is unique and that can also work. And this works even if you don't, in fact, even if you don't have the best credit score, but at least if you have a loan, specifically a credit card that you've had for a while that you've always made on time payments with, you're going to want to listen up because the longer you've had this credit card, the better this works for you. Now, I'm going to tell you a story. I'm going to tell you about an experience that I had personally and how I first learned this. And actually, we're going to put a link in the show notes of how you can actually do it yourself. All right. So here's the cool thing. So this works for both sides of the equation. I'm going to talk to both of you, whether you're looking to boost your credit score or you're looking to just make passive income with your credit. Right. So this is what happened. This is back in 2006. This is about the time that I became financially independent the first time. So I had lots of cash flow coming in, but I didn't have a lot of great credit. I didn't have a long credit history because I was only in my late 20s, right? And I remember I was trying to secure a loan for a car, right? I remember I was trying to do that. Again, I partnered up with my dad on his credit to use it to get the car. Well, a few months later, I decided I'm going to buy a house, And so when I did this, now this would made my dad nervous. He's like, I don't want to go on the loan. I'm like, nope, I don't want you to go on the loan either. Now he co-signed on a loan for the car that I bought. But I actually asked him, I said, listen, I don't want you to go on the loan for my house that I'm about to buy. Here's what I want instead. I said, Dad, do you remember that credit card you let me use in college when, I was about 21? Remember that card you let me use to buy some books? It was a Visa card. Yeah, I remember that. Well, Dad, I'm going to ask you to put me on as an authorized user on that card. Wait, why? What do you need it for? I'm like, I don't need it. I don't need the credit card. I don't need the credit. I don't need the credit card. In fact, send the credit card to your house. You call up the company, send the credit card to your house, and then shred it. Do whatever you want with the card. I just want you to put me on as an authorized user. Why? Why do you need it for? I'm like, here's why, Dad. And I learned this from doing a little credit program, right? This is a program that help people get their credit score up to 720 quickly, right? And I said, here's why, Dad. It's like, if you put me on this credit card, that was started in 1995, right? The card was from the time I was 17, 18 years old. I said, you put me on this card, I'm going to have your credit history on that one card, not his whole entire credit history, but just that one card. So I'll get that long payment history, which is what I need to boost my credit score. He said, yeah, but what's that going to do to my credit? Dad, nothing. It won't do anything to your credit. In fact, if anything, I'm at risk because I have to give you my social security number, date of birth, and phone number to get me added to this card. But no, nothing happens to you. Nothing happens to your credit report. Nothing happens to your credit score. If I'm on it, that's it. No risk there. So he said, all right, fine, I'll do it, but don't do anything with it. I'm like, nope, you keep the credit card. I can't do anything with this. I can't even call in to get used. This is an authorized user, but I'm not authorized to make phone calls to get a card sent to me. So he did it. The next month, my score jumped up 23 points just by having his card show up on my credit history. So immediately I had it pulled one month, the next month had it pulled again, 23 points instantaneous. Now, for many of us, it depends on where you're at with your credit score. Now, if you have a 800 plus credit score, you don't care. If you're in the mid 700s and above, doesn't matter. But you might be in the high 600s like I was. I was in the high 600s. I knew if I got over 700 or 720, that my score would actually allow me to get a lower interest rate, freeing up more cash for me. It would save me money. And with a mortgage, especially the way house prices are right now, it's even bigger. But this could be also true for getting a car loan. This could be true for anything. Guys, this strategy right here works. Now, this could be great too if you're also trying to get your kids started off with credit. If you don't have to co-sign on their first car loan, the great thing you can do is put them on one of your credit cards that has a credit history. They see the credit history, they say, great, you got a credit score, you've got income from a job. They have to have that, of course, right? You got income from a job, you got credit history. We'll give you the loan by yourself under their name, not yours, not putting you at risk. So that alone is pretty cool. Here's what's awesome is there are actually companies out there that if you've got a credit card with clean payment history, meaning you did not have any lates on that specific card, doesn't mean if you didn't have lates on other stuff in your life, by the way. This is true for me. I had lates on my credit report with different loans, but there was one credit card I didn't have a late for. So I was even able to do this where I was able to put authorized users on my card and I would get paid money for them to be on my card for maybe a couple months, right? Or so. By the way, you can do this with employees, you do this with anybody, right? But again, you can do this with people that are actually looking for a boost. I did this with someone who was a friend of mine They said, hey, I'm trying to get my credit score up. If I do, it'll save me money on my house. And I said, I've got an idea. I even told them, I said, pay me directly, pay me $200. Pay me $200. I'll put you on my card. It'll give you all that credit history. It'll help boost your credit. And then after a number of months, I'll just take you off. But as long as it's giving you time to be able to get that loan. That's what I did. Their credit score jumped up. Even when I took them off the credit card, because their credit history was good and looked great, eventually their score stayed up anyways, even when I took them off. Guys, there are companies out there that will allow you to connect you with these people looking for ways to boost credit. Now, if you're one of those people looking to boost credit, you'll also want to check out the company I'm going to have in the show notes here, right? I was going to bring them on, but I just decided, I'm just going to teach the concept and just put the link in the show notes so you guys can use it. Yes, I can get a referral fee if you guys use them, right? Not so much on the credit side, but if you get a credit card where you're making cash flow, I can get like a referral fee from that, just so you know. I don't even know how much it is. I just know I can get one. So I'm saying that ahead of time. But in any case, if you need a credit boost, this could be a place you can go to say, great, add me to somebody's credit. If you don't have somebody that's in your sphere of influence, you can go and use this. You can actually go and say, hey, I want to get added to somebody's credit card as a temporary authorized user and boost my credit score up enough so I can get a better interest rate on my loans or whatever I need that better credit score for. Same is true reverse. If you've got a credit card that you had, I'd say at least a 5-year history on, you can do it with less, but just so you know, the longer the history, this is the number one factor. The longer your history of this card, the good history, the more they'll pay you for it. Also, the bigger the credit limit, the more they'll pay you too. So, but the credit limit doesn't matter. If it's a 1-year card, yeah, you'll get paid a little bit, but you won't get paid as much as a small limit card that has like a 10-year history. You'll get paid more for that than you will for a big limit type of card. Again, there's different variations, there's different reasons for both, but the cool thing is you can get paid on it. Guys, I used on a previous podcast we talked about 3 months ago, I had a guy on here that I interviewed. When we did it, I had, multiple users on my own card that I put on their site, and people would get on it. I would put them on, I would just put on their information. Again, it was no risk to me, even with my credit card, because again, they don't get any of my information, but I get theirs. So I was able to get that information from them, add them as a user on the card, help them with whatever they needed. And then from there, I was able to remove them after a few months. And they would tell me, hey, time to remove them. I'm like, great, time to remove them. Guys, I made several $100s just doing that. Several hundred. In fact, I was getting paid at that point, like just about $100 per user, right? So about $100 for every person going on there. Some of you guys have cards that allow up to 40 people. Sometimes people get Barclays cards. Barclays cards sometimes will allow up to 40 people. Amex cards don't work so well for this, but usually Visa, MasterCard, Discover, these kind of cards usually work best for this kind of thing to you be able to show credit. So again, everybody's situation is different. I just recommend go check it out. Again, we'll put the link on the show notes so you can look to do that. But guys, this is a way that you don't have to have any money, no money at all, but it's very possible you could start generating 100, maybe 50 to 100 or hundreds of dollars a month just doing this kind of strategy, depending on what your situation is. Again, no money out of pocket. That's an infinite rate of return, guys. It's about being smarter. It's not about working harder. It's about working smarter. You can try to save up all the money and get your money to work for you. And if you've got a lot of money to deploy to make good cash flow, the cool thing is never forget you have that human capital too. You have ways within your own situation without money that can create passive income for you. So guys, again, it's in the show notes. You can check that out. But I want to give you that huge tip. I know it's been about 3 years since we last talked about this, but this strategy is awesome, right? Getting those authorized users on your card. So this is how you can make cash flow with no cash. This is how you can make cash flow just using your credit score. Guys, I hope you get great value out of something like this. Go and make a wonderful and prosperous week, and we'll see you later.
Visit us online at moneyripples.com for more resources to help you fix money leaks and get your money working harder for you now.